There's no way they'd let that shit fly. Alright, so... Alright, look at this. MS Paint. Okay. Okay. What is the difference between these two things? This is state power. Okay? The entities of the state. This is the state land, okay? What's the difference here, really? Size and shape? Well, I mean, fuck, do I need to draw it perfectly? It's irrelevant, okay? And they're two things, you know, one is recognized by the state as a landmass and territory, right? This is their territory. And you know who tells them this is their territory? Mr. Fedman, if they want to know. He will tell them that this landmass is theirs. I should have just drawn the landmasses. Let me just fucking... This is the state, okay? They're an entity. This is San Andreas. What does it look like? Something like this? That's fucking close enough in a few islands. There you go. So, okay. These people have state power, and we know the jurisdiction's this, pretty much, right? These entities, okay? Let's start, all right? There could be a state entity for park rangers. There could be a state entity for police. And when they get their authorization, they very well could go everywhere. So the police, state pol, they get authority, okay, in which could go everywhere, or that is defined by only the state roads, okay? So they can only go on the highways and the state processing facility and whatever highway runs through the city. Just because they are the state police doesn't mean they have all the authority, right? And it's the same as a park ranger. This state park ranger can only have authorization in this state park. If you're an agent of the state, you are not everything in the state. And when a mayor, when these people say to the mayor or the council, whatever, council, the two legislative authorities, that here you are the legislative authority of Los Santos. It is written by law that you are this legislative authority, right? So there is nothing that says from this entity you are the legislative authority here. But that doesn't mean when you pass a law and they're willing to sign it based on constitution that you wouldn't be able to also give authority there, right? And that's why it says the DOJ. While you do have this office here as state representatives with state bar license, you are in all of the jurisdiction. You see how each state entity is based on jurisdiction, based on what their authority is given by. So this state DOJ element would get their authority from the federal DOJ through the state, obviously. That's probably a bad representation. Say this is the Fed up here. It would go through here and then straight to them, essentially. So these people are the state. These people are the state. These people are the state. They're all the state, but they don't all have the same authority. And it works anywhere, right? You can do the exact same thing, okay? In any situation. Any situation. I am the boss. My apartments. I hand out authorization to Mr. Bob here. He gets 2. Mr. Dick here, he gets 2. And Mr. Fuck over here only gets 1. But we've got a free one, a free one, a free one, a free one. These might just be office blocks or some shit. It could be anything. It's irrelevant to what it is. This person, this authority, this entity, whatever it is, it could be the state. It could be a person. It could be a fucking shop owner. It doesn't matter. He is the core of where things come from and who knows what is in control of what. If this person doesn't know or isn't bypassed, then it isn't technically legal, in a sense. If this guy says, hey, I want it, and he gives it, he now has it. Just because this guy is told, hey, you have the power to get those 3 if you want them, and he doesn't do it, if this guy's like, oh, okay, I'll take this one then. Just because you had the power doesn't mean that you have the entity. You need to say, hey, buddy, I'm taking these, all right? Thanks, buddy. You said I could, I'm doing it. It's all about just writing the fucking law. It doesn't matter. If you have to ask permission to go to a fucking toilet in school, you just ask and then you got permission. Doesn't matter. It's an entity giving you the permission slip to go do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. If this entity owns a fucking car lot and rents you a car out, you've got the car, dude. But if you take the car, it's stolen. It does. It's the power of this authority and the name of it is irrelevant. This could be a local authority, it could be a state authority, it could be a federal authority. It's irrelevant. It's just irrelevant. Because why the name of the authority is irrelevant, it's the authority they control that is of relevance. Federal government, all right? Federal park ranger, state, only has national park power. Why? Because the federal government owns this area. That is what they're paying for. That is where they authorize. Even though a state park ranger would have more area if he was given it. It's literally just like that. It's that simple. And then a local municipal government says, hey, you get Circle 1. It doesn't matter what anything's called. The names of things are irrelevant. The power that is given is the authority from the bigger authority. So the authority you now have is what your authority is, not unless you've expanded it. You need to create the authority for an authority to exist. So this federal person, all right, and to explain to you why it works like this, and not to be stupid, federal government, state government, local municipal government, law enforcement. Okay? They're all a different authority, right? And now, the federal government can say, hey, you're the park rangers. Congrats, you get a tiny dot. Because it's a national park, right? Then they pass through the law enforcement agencies, which are not state. They are under the municipal. So they got to get a part that is defined in the legislation, okayed by whoever is above them. This doesn't even need to be called state necessarily. It could be the mayor or the DOJ because they have power from the state to do this. So technically, this could be the mayor with their authority from the state, passing it through the local municipal to create this entity, which happened straight away. It did actually come from the state to do this like this. So if there is a jurisdiction here that a law enforcement under a municipal could patrol, they don't have the rights to do it unless it's okayed by somebody. So unless the federal government said, listen, you're good, just go do it. The state, just go do it. Or these people say, yeah, you're good, just go do it. And they write it in their law, it's not there. But the implication in which this needs to be done and why it needs to be done, I know this is fucking boring, but, okay, listen, dude, listen. If this local law enforcement then makes a DOC, all right, through the authorization and gets it signed off, just because this is passed down through federal powers does not make these guys federal law. All right? That is not how it works. Whoever signs it and authorizes it is where the power comes from to create the power, right? It's just not how it is. Otherwise, with the implication of what they said, because this is now labeled as federal, they should have more power than these guys. No. They just have the jurisdiction that's written here. Nothing else.